Tonight, detectives are telling us that 3 cold cases have finally been cracked. The murders of these young women have all been linked to a suspected serial killer. Local 10's Andrew Perez is live with the critical clue that led to solving this mystery. Andrew.
And keep in mind, the suspect, he's tied to some really graphic murders here in South Florida, but also several murders overseas. Detectives basically went to the ends of the earth to find this guy. It did take some time, but these 3 victims, they were never forgotten.
Justice never expires.
The families of 3 young women murdered in Miami-Dade and Broward counties some 20 years ago, finally getting some answers.
These men and women never gave up over the course of the past 2 decades. Broward County has always had our backs.
Michael's wife, Kimberly Livesey, was found stuffed in a suitcase on the side of the road in Cooper City. This was June of 2000. Days later, Sia Damas was found crammed in a duffel bag in Dania Beach. Then a year after that, Jessica Good discovered floating in Miami's Biscayne Bay. Roberto Fernandes, a Brazilian citizen who was living in Miami, was tied to that murder.
When investigators were making moves to go and contact him and bring him in for questioning, unfortunately, they had already found out that he had fled the country to Brazil.
He was a person of interest in many violent crimes against prostitutes in that country as well.
Brazil wouldn't extradite. While in Brazil, he made many enemies, accused of murdering more women, including his wife. He fled Brazil as well, but his plane crashed on the way to Paraguay. Detectives refusing to leave it at that.
It is believed that he could have faked his death to avoid further attempts on his life. So the first thing that had to be determined, if we were going to move forward with anything, is if Roberto Fernandes was still alive.
They worked to locate his casket and get his body exhumed, matching his DNA to the cases and bringing closure to these families.
I wish we were up here showing you his mugshot. Unfortunately, we were deprived that pleasure. Knowing his last minutes on earth were probably full of terror. Makes me feel a little better.
Believe it or not, authorities are saying at this point that they believe he's tied to other unsolved murders as well. All of that's still trying to be sorted out right now. If you have any information, though, you're encouraged to call BSO right away. That's the latest here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Andrew Perez, Local 10 News.